Good morning and welcome to 10 Minutes to Get More with me, Emily Edwards. Well done for starting your Monday off right and getting more for your commercial teams or more out of your career in the travel industry. Today I'm sharing what's important for a hotel or travel tech startup to focus on in their go-to-market planning. Now, what I mean by go-to-market planning or strategy is clarifying how you're going to sell and market your product and to whom. You're likely in the phase of taxiing in my commercial velocity framework. You probably have the product already and a small team, or maybe just you still. You are expending a lot of energy and trying to get a lot of stuff done, but without a clear direction, especially for your sales and marketing, and possibly not enough knowledge of the industry. If you want to know more about that commercial velocity framework, you can find a whole video on it on YouTube called the Commercial Velocity Map. So in the taxiing phase, you might be feeling energetic, energized, and excited because you believe you've got a really great product that hotels or travel companies really need and can really help them. But you might also be feeling a bit of trepidation or nerves because if you haven't created a go-to-market plan before, if you haven't sold before in your previous jobs or experiences, and perhaps if you don't know enough about the industry, because travel and hotel industry is really one where you need to know about it to sell into it, that might cause a bit of those nerves. And I've also noticed with companies in this phase that there's kind of a finish line and starting line feeling here. So you've taken a leap, which is bold and it takes energy and willpower. Either you've left a corporate role to create this startup or product, or you've left another company, like another startup, to create your own. And you've probably slogged to get the product. Maybe you've even got funding, which is really hard work as well. And it feels like you've done loads. You've run a marathon already. You're at the finish line, but you're at the starting line of selling it properly and creating a sales and go-to-market process. So I'm going to share a bit more about what I do when I work with companies in this stage in their go-to-market planning. But before I jump into the what, I'm going to explain more about how I work, which really sets me apart. Because it's not one size fits all. I'm not just going to give you a set of step-by-step instructions, but it's not wishy-washy either. It's about meeting you where you are and helping you step up to the next level. So it's a blend of mentorship, training, and coaching. What does that mean in real life? So I bring structure, I bring frameworks and tools to bring a new perspective and help you organize your thinking. So I won't just say, work out your ICP and let you think about it. We've got a structure for that. But there's still plenty of space to explore, brainstorm together and refine. Like, I'm not gatekeeping here. If I've got good ideas, I'm going to share them with you. You're welcome to not take them. If I know something that I think you might not be noticing, then I'll happily say it, right? It's not all on you. There may also be an element of kind of teaching or training, especially if you're new into the hotel space, to help you really understand how it works. You've also got the space to pick my brains if you want to on other parts of the business, even outside the go-to-market strategy, because sometimes you just want someone who's been there and done that to help you out. And I'm also there as a sounding board for you as a founder or as a leader of this startup, challenging you when you need to be challenged, cheerleading you when you need a bit of that, and helping you see yourself as the leader you want to be, dealing with any of those mind stories about who am I to do this, or it has to be perfect before I launch, and all of that, which is really normal. So here's the what that is relevant to planning your entry into the hotel space or the travel industry space in your startup. Stage one for me is about understanding the industry so that you can sell into it. So really understanding who is buying your product and how it helps them specifically. So that is about your ideal client persona, ideal client profile, different buying personas. The hotel industry is remarkably complex with so many different stakeholders at different levels. You need to understand each of those and how you're going to speak to them. Understanding what hotels are targeted on, understand the language they use, the data they use. And all that means is you can speak to the right people in the right targeted language. And that makes it an easy yes for them to use your product. And that means you can sell more of your product, shorten your sales cycles, and build credibility in the industry. When I shared that this is the kind of work I do on LinkedIn, a senior commercial leader at a global hotel chain based in Singapore said to me, every day I get 2 emails from tech companies that have clearly never bothered to understand the hospitality industry and think they can just solve our problems. You do not want to be that tech vendor. So this is the number one thing that I think is really important, to understand those different personas. Owners, GMs, the brand, front office team, what they are targeted on, what they care about, and what's the value for them of your product. So really nothing generic. And then you can realign your approach and your messaging to connect your product to the hotel's priorities speak the right language. So if you're talking about GOP, RevPAR, GSI, whatever it is, so that the decision makers there can see a business impact and an ROI of using your product. The next phase is more about building up your skills, your consultative sales approach, your negotiation skills. So that's about how do you ask great questions that help people move out of the feeling of satisfaction with the current situation and see there's a need for your product. How do you sell value, not the product? They don't care that you've got an AI assisted agent or whatever, they care what it does for them. How do you handle their objections? And having worked with hotels for 15 years, there's going to be a lot of objections. And how do you qualify opportunities so you're not barking up the wrong tree? All of that helps you to build win-win partnerships with your hotel partners or your travel company partners. You're not selling them smoke and mirrors. It's really win-win. And you build more credibility as a really trusted advisor, not a creepy salesperson. So that helps to reduce any friction when you onboard your clients into your product, reduces churn of clients, and helps you get more referrals as well. So those two parts, really getting that perspective of the client you're trying to sell to, and then being able to communicate value better, go hand in hand to help you be successful in selling. The next stage, and this one always gives my clients the ick, is about getting more visible. And especially if you're doing founder-led sales, you need to get out of your head and onto LinkedIn or your platform of choice, but probably LinkedIn, with carefully chosen content that positions you as someone that's credible, that can solve a problem, that understands hotels or the travel industry. That helps you build your brand as a founder and the brand for the company more organically. It sets you up for success in the future as well. When you want to hire salespeople, they're not building from nothing. That all helps to build up your inbound leads, gets you more authority, it makes it easier for you to sell your product, so it's not going in cold. I know there is a lot of people have a big mindset issue about going public when things aren't perfect. Lots of people that start companies, including myself, are recovering or, full-on perfectionists and don't want to share things that aren't ready, but you can't wait that long. You have to start sharing. Otherwise, someone that's less advanced than you will be on stages talking about their product when you know yours is better, and that is gutting. So we do a bit of this work as well, coaching you through that mindset shift. And then the last stage for me is really getting down to the nuts and bolts of what actually happens when you're selling and when the customer's buying. This is such a blind spot for a lot of companies. Their sales process, and maybe it's in your CRM like this, is, prospecting and then proposal sent and then proposal being negotiated and then closed. And that's 4 simple stages. Does it look the same for your hotel partner or for your travel industry partner that's buying your product? Probably the stages are not the same. There's different stakeholders involved, and really understanding that means that your pipeline management is going to be really meaningful. You'll actually be able to forecast which deals are going to close or not. You'll be able to give the right support to your partners at the right time so that they can move along the cycle. And once those clients sign and come into your world, the onboarding experience is improved because you've preempted everything they're going to need. So that all of that together kind of eradicates or reduces at least those last minute scrambles to make targets. It stops deals slipping, like every quarter the deal is just slipping and slipping, and it makes your clients happy when they do buy because you've held their hand every step along the way. So with my client Echo Bell, which is a hotel tech guest experience startup, this approach really created concrete outcomes and some proof points for them and their hotels. So our work together in repositioning the product led to an 80% reduction in calls to reception for one hotel, just by understanding what the front desk needed to be able to be trained and understand and use the voice agent and encourage the guests to use it. They now have 30 hotels on board their platform, and Daniel, the CEO, having started from not wanting to post on LinkedIn and me having to almost bully him into doing it, is now appearing on podcasts and stages talking about his product, talking about the future of hotel tech. And he's just super confident in knowing the market really well, knowing hospitality and hotels, and he speaks publicly about his product and how he's going to change the future. So it's just a massive change when you know the industry, you've built your confidence in speaking about it, and you really know your clients. So if you're if you're a founder of or an early member of a hotel or travel tech startup and you're looking to plan out your go-to-market strategy, get in touch and we can have a chat about how I can help.